Marana Chamber of Commerce and a local business owner. We've been very busy behind the scenes introducing new policies and procedures to ensure the Chamber runs smoothly and efficiently. A year ago, we announced a new logo at this event. And within the last year, we launched a strategic plan and updated the organization's missions, vision, and values. I'm excited to share our chamber membership has been consistently growing. All the organization's success is possible through the support from our members and the business community. The Marana Chamber of Commerce has been recognized by the Reader's Choice Awards as the best chamber in Southern Arizona for 7 years in a row. Also, we've been named Best of the Northwest Chamber of Commerce. Thank you for your continued support and choosing to vote for the Marana Chamber. I encourage you to utilize the brand new 2023 official map, or Marana Guide map, located at your table in the lobby, to search for services and business products, local businesses who support their community through their chamber membership, and share your resource with your family, coworkers, and neighbors. Finally, it is my pleasure to introduce today's MC, radio and television personality Joan Lee has over 25 years of on-air experience. She's recorded thousands of commercials and hosted hundreds of interviews and charity events. Today we're excited to introduce to you our MC Joan Lee, KDRI, the Drive Radio, now a proud member of the Bustos Media family.
He's taller than I am. Gotta fix that. And I took my heels off too, couldn't stand it. Hi, it is such an honor to be here today. I am proud to be here, and each year this event highlights the community and some of the community partners working to ensure that Marana is an incredibly special place. Many of you are here today and exemplify that culture, and I want to thank each of you for your contributions to Marana. I would especially like to thank Mr. Dan Maris for being the speaker today, allowing somebody else to be the MC. Thank you very much.
We gather to highlight a few community leaders that work each day to ensure this community remains transparent and accountable to the people that call Marana home. Marana is the fastest growing community in Southern Arizona because people want to be here. This event is possible due to the strong sense of community and the businesses and the people who are investing in that future. Thank you to the sponsors of this afternoon's event. Please join me in thanking my table mates, our signature sponsor, Kel Portland. Also, our diamond sponsor, Bear, the Chase Building Team, Crown West Land Group and Gladden Farms, CTI, clap for yourself, that's fine, HSL Properties, Hughes Federal Credit Union, Management and Training Corporation, Pima Federal Credit Union Corporate, Tucson Electric Power, and Trico Electric Cooperative Incorporated. In addition, today's Ruby sponsors, Arizona State University, MHC Healthcare, SOMAS, the University of Arizona, Tucson Airport Authority, and Visiting Angels. These companies and organizations listed in your program and on the screens around me have invested in our community, and we'd like to thank you for your commitment to Marana. I'd also like to take a moment to recognize a few folks in the audience today. I can't see where you are because it's dark out there, but we have several elected officials with us, and I'd like to invite each of the elected officials to stand up and be recognized for your public service. I can see the mayor, he's right here. Thank you so much. And I'd also like to take a moment to recognize members of the armed forces, veterans, and emergency responders who are here with us today. Thank you for your service to the Marana and our country. Please stand up to be recognized. Thank you for all you do. And I'm going to have everybody stand up now for the presentation of the colors and the Pledge of Allegiance by the Marana Police Department and Northwest Fire District, followed by the national anthem sung by the Marana High School and Mountain View High School choirs.
Color guard. Hold. About face.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Pastor Dale Moe will lead the invocation.
And as we're in silence, I'm informed that there was an incident for the mayor on his way here of a family, a tragedy, that we may just hold that silence in memory of that situation as we are mindful of families that are affected. Let us pray. Lord of all creation, we come before you today to give you honor and praise. Lord, you are the source of all that is good. You are the source of all our blessings. Thank you for every good gift that you have bestowed upon us. We thank you for the opportunity to come together this day, and we ask your hand of blessing on this gathering and our meal. We ask that you would guide and direct us, your people, and be especially a guide for the people who serve the town of Marana and the surrounding communities, so it is filled with your wisdom, productivity, and care for each other. Lord, assist us and help us in our work so as to accomplish our goals, and may our goals be established by you. Give us thankful hearts of what we have been given, and give us the compassion to give to others. And help us to be steadfast in our vocations, ever mindful that you are always with us. And Lord Jesus, make your light to shine upon us, and grant us newness of life today and always. And so I pray, O Lord, in the power of your Holy Spirit, to continue to provide your grace and blessings upon this day and always be with us. I ask this in Jesus' holy and precious name. Amen.
Now the Marana and Mountain View choirs.
Color guard. Order. Arms. March.
You can be seated. We thought while you're being served, we would just go ahead and get started with this wonderful program. Thank you again for being here today. Before I invite Mayor Honey up here to start the presentation, I would like to draw your attention to the screens where the Town of Marana staff have prepared for you a very special message.
A big boom when it comes to building in Marana.
The town of Marana unveiled a new piece of artwork in the heart of downtown.
And it's all about community here in Marana.
The speculation is true. An Amazon distribution facility is going up in Marana.
The town of Marana and City of Tucson spoke on the topic, so I reached out to them to find out just where Marana and Tucson stands when it comes to our water.
Hello, my name is Terry Rosemont, and I'm the town manager for the town of Marana. You know, I think we all have a story to tell, and I think that every story matters. The story of our town has continued to evolve over the years, and we depend, at least in part, on our media partners to tell it. It is a story of heritage, community, change, growth, perseverance, and transparency. Last year at our State of the Town, we focused on moving Marana forward. This year, our focus is all about continuing to build upon our mission of providing five-star service. From signature events to unparalleled police services, we are committed to making sure Marana is a place you want to call home. This is the story of Marana over the past year.
Howdy, folks. I'm Amanda Gomez, Communications Specialist with the Town of Marana, and we are kicking off what we're calling the Marana Monthly Roundup, a video series highlighting the events and stories the communications team has worked on.
Once again, it's time for the Marana Monthly Roundup here with the Marana Communications Division. It is back to school season, so we got to work with the Marana Police Department on how to keep you and your kids safe.
It's time to get you caught up also on what's been happening around town during the month of September in another Marana Monthly Roundup.
From Parks and Recreation to Public Works, the communications team has been hard at work, including creating a new podcast and partnering with the Chamber of Commerce on the new Chamber Guide.
Hi everyone, I'm Marana Mayor Ed Honey. I would like to thank the local media for helping us with today's presentation. Without transparency, we are nothing, and we want you to be part of that as well.
It was great. Mayor Ed Honey is a third generation of a five-generation Marana family, and he served on the council on 3 different occasions. He worked for the U.S. Postal Service in Marana as a contractor for 29 years before retiring in 2007. Mayor Honey is a member of the Pima Association of Governments, including chair in 2014, and is the current chair of the Regional Transportation Authority. Are you really retired? I don't think so. He serves on the executive board on the Arizona League of Cities and Towns. He's a member of the Arizona Town Hall, Central Arizona Association of Governments, the Arizona Association of Economic Development, the Marana Optimist Club, and the Marana Chamber of Commerce. Mayor Honey is a graduate of Marana High School, the U.S. Naval School of Construction, and Pima Community College. He served in the U.S. Navy Seabees during the Vietnam War and is a lifetime member of VFW Post 5990 in Marana. Please welcome Mayor Ed Honey.
I'm just going to speak briefly to start because we have a great program today, but I want to thank Joan Lee and Dan Maries, Danelle Confair, and Vic Hathaway for talking on our transparency issues today. Now, Danelle's not here. She had some reason that she couldn't make it to the event, and I can't remember what it was.
We'll catch up on that.
Oh. She had a baby. And his name is Easton. And Danelle and Easton are doing great. And she has a great video we're going to show you today. So I'm going to turn it back over to Joan to do the bio of our speakers. And then I'll come back up at the end. We have a couple of awards and I'll close out the ceremony. Thank you.
Find a job you love, and you'll never work a day in your life. How many times have you heard Dan Maries say that? He says it a lot. It is exactly how Dan Maries feels about how working in the evening news as the anchor at KOLD News 13, and he's been keeping Tucson informed since 1999. You've been here? Dan got his start in television news in 1995 while he was a junior at Mesa State College in Grand Junction, Colorado. Further news jobs took him to the beautiful state of Minnesota in Mankato. He went to Yuma and finally landed here in Tucson. It was also during college he spent 4 summers as a wildland firefighter for the Bureau of Land Management. Dan is the father of 3 boys, and that's all I can say. Take it away, Dan.
Well, thank you very much, Joan. It's great to see you. We go back many, many years, 20 plus years.
1999.
Yeah, 1999. Party like it's 1999. Well, hey, my name is Dan Maries. Good afternoon, and I love Marana. How about us? Everybody? You know, it's truly a privilege to be here today, and even more so that it comes at the request of Mayor Ed Honey. We go back quite a few years now. I've come to know him as a man of his word, a man of honor, a humble leader, and most of all, a man of God. I feel blessed to consider you a friend, Mayor, so thank you for having me here today. And where else can I live where I see the mayor at church, at the grocery store, or at a town park? This is one of the reasons I choose to live in Marana, because of that down-home feel. But I still will do a story on if you screw up, okay? Transparency, right, Mayor? The latter half of my childhood I spent in Pawnee, Oklahoma, where I went to junior high and high school, class of 1990. It's a very small town, less than 2,000 people. There's 2 stoplights, a 4-way, and everyone knows everyone, which has its ups and downs, especially if I got in trouble. For the most part, I did stay out of trouble, but my great-grandfather homesteaded there in the land run of 1889. Pretty sure he wasn't a Sooner, but there's some family debate on that. Pawnee is home of the Pawnee tribe. It's also a strong-knit community where neighbors watch out for each other. It's a farming and ranching community. My uncle and cousins, they still raise cattle in Pawnee. Saturdays were spent at the sale barn when I was growing up, where the ranchers got together and they got caught up over a cup of coffee and a burger. It's basically an all-American small town. Now, I share this with you because I get that same nostalgic feeling right here in Marana, and I'll take that any day over a big city where skyscrapers are blocking the view of the mountains. One of the many reasons I choose to live in Marana. It's also because of the Marana Unified School District. My oldest son, Curtis, he's now 24, attended Ironwood Elementary School, where Mrs. Vimich back then would stand in front of the school entrance every morning, greeting the students and parents by name. I was always impressed. She had such a great memory. Where I volunteered there once a week with his class, Mrs. White, and his kindergarten teacher. It was and still is a very family-oriented campus. Now, my middle son, Dean, who's 8 and the 3rd grader at Twin Peaks K-8, his teacher, Mrs. E, sends out frequent messages, keeping his mom and me up to date on how he's doing in class. Where Associate Principal, Mr. Tidwell, stands in the drop-off circle, waving and chatting with parents as they're dropping off their kids. A friendly, welcoming atmosphere I pretty much feel everywhere when I go around town in Marana. Another reason I choose to call Marana home is safety. I feel safe here. The Marana Police Department does a fantastic job of keeping our community safe. Thank you guys, appreciate it. I realize we do have some problems, just like any other city or town. I had somebody break into my truck a couple of years ago. The one night I didn't park in the garage. Well, someone busted out my window, they stole some things, but Marana PD, you responded. You dusted for fingerprints, you've called a couple times letting me know that you're still on the case. Knowing that there are detectives trying to solve these property crimes, it's reassuring to me. Marana PD cares. They want to catch the bad guys just as much as I do and you do. From a professional standpoint, as a journalist, Marana PD has always been quick to respond when I've got questions about what's going on. And I see out and about, I see at a crime scene, your office is always incredibly professional and courteous as I nose around, shooting video and asking questions. I always appreciate that. So for the Marana officers, thank you for your service. We appreciate what you do. Yeah. So Marana has changed drastically since I moved here in '99. I remember the two homes that stood where the Walmart is now at I-10 and Cortero. That whole area was pretty vacant, just open desert. I love hearing stories from those who recall the Shamrock Dairy Farm east of I-10 towards Old Father. That's where I live now. Before all the houses, Shamrock, they sported a herd of milk cows that numbered about 1,500 by the late 70s. A good friend of mine, Rick Hummer, some of you probably know him. He's got a 10-acre parcel right there at Cortero and Camino de Oeste. And he tells me how he used to ride his horse north to the Tortolitas, and he only passed 3 houses back then. He can name every family that lived in those homes. It's all gone now, but it is part of our heritage and history that Marana embraces and honors as we continue to grow, change, and move forward. Remembering where we came from helps guide us to where we're going. I appreciate how town leaders recognize and preserve our history instead of washing it over and forgetting about it. It's showcased with projects like the Marana Heritage River Park and the presentation of artifacts from an ancient Hohokam village at Crossroads at Silver Park. People have lived here for thousands of years along the Santa Cruz, and now we are blessed to call this same area our homes today. Marana has so much to offer. We still have plenty of wide open spaces with unobstructed views of the Tucson and Tortolita Mountains. We've got an abundance of hiking trails, the golf courses, a portion of the loop, hot air balloons on those cool, crisp mornings, and so many wonderful parks. And as a dad with 2 young boys, we take advantage of the Marana parks all the time. During the summer, the splash pads are a huge hit with Dean and Preston, along with a zip line park up off of Tangerine Road. So thank you to the Marana Parks and Rec Department for all the work that you do. As a parent, we appreciate it. Thank you. You know, the KOLD studios, they're just down the road from Arizona Pavilions at Cortero and I-10. We've established a deep-rooted relationship with the community and businesses based right here in our town. We cover Marana more in our newscasts than any other stations, forging a neighborly bond with our fellow Maranans. Is it Maranans or Maranians? What do we call ourselves? Mayor, I've got a suggestion. Let's put together a committee to decide if we're Maranans or Marinians, and I'll chair it, okay? And then we could say we've been Maranified. How's that sound? In summary, Marana is more than a town. We are a family. We have a strong heritage spanning back thousands of years, comprised of centuries of culture, pride, ambition, a can-do desert attitude, and a vision for the future with endless possibilities. And I just want to say thank you to everyone who's here today. It's people like you who make Marana our town. It's our neighbors. It's my favorite courtesy clerk, Sarah, at the Fry's at Ina and Thornydale, who always greets me with a genuine smile and asks how my boys are doing. It's the friendly faces at the Clean Freak car wash on Ina, where I wash my pickup all the time. It's the helpful employees at Ace Hardware on Cortero who walk me to the stuff that I need when I'm trying to fix things at home, and I am not a DIY kind of guy. It's people like Javier at Spectrum Ina Road Collision, who's fixed a few dents in my trucks over the years. It's Vanessa at Great Clips on Cortero, who's been cutting my hair for more than 20 years. It's Chris across the street at QT, who always gives me a cheerful hello and asks, "How's it going, my man?" It's John Post, who works like a madman to make the Marana Pumpkin Patch a fun family event. And it's people like Councilwoman Patty Comerford, who will text me during a newscast and let me say, "Hey, your tie's crooked, Dan." I always appreciate that, Councilwoman. Thank you. And it's people like Ed Honey, Mayor Honey, who worked tirelessly and selflessly to make our town the best place to live as we move forward while keeping a proud eye on our past. Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Marana, and have a great day. Appreciate it.
And he'll repeat all that on Facebook later. Thank you, Dan. Our next speaker is Danelle Confair, and she does have a rarely good reason for not being here in person. She is proud to call Southern Arizona home. She graduated from the Walter Cronkite School of Journalism and Communications. It has been her dream to tell stories for the past decade. She's extremely curious and wants to continue to use her storytelling for the greater good. She is married to a firefighter. They have a daughter and a brand new baby boy. So she taped this ahead of time. She loves traveling, being outdoors, and getting coffee. She works for KGUN 9 on your side and anchors weekdays at 4 p.m.
Hi everyone, my name is Danelle Confair. I'm the 4 p.m. anchor and investigative reporter for KGUN 9. Thanks so much for having me speak today at the Marana State of the Town Luncheon. I'm sorry I wasn't able to attend, but I will have popped and had my baby boy by then. All right, I myself am a Marana resident and proud homeowner and have been for the past several years. And I've really just seen our town continue to grow and thrive, creating great opportunities for the next generations to come. As a person in the media, my job is simple. It's to keep the public informed, give them the facts, and let them decide what choices they need to make for their families. Our coverage of Marana and Southern Arizona really continues to dive into deep issues impacting the community. And at KGUN 9, we do believe in real storytelling and not only showing you the breaking news or the crimes going on, but spotlighting the good in humanity, highlighting the goodwill of our neighbors because we know in day-to-day headlines that can get lost. In fact, we made it a point in every newscast to include good news happening all around, but we need your help. If you have a good news story to tell us, or you want to showcase someone's heroic work, send us an email at share@kgun9.com. All right, I'm done with shameless plugs. Now, as the world continues to evolve and technology expands, the way we've started to deliver the news to Marana residents has also changed. While we still offer traditional live news coverage throughout the day on TV, catch me at 4 p.m., folks, we are also reaching out to the community through one of the most powerful tools everyone seems to be using. Of course, I know you're not using it right now, and that's your phone. Whether it's through social media or on our KGUN 9 app, we're offering special content relating to Southern Arizona and just what's going on in our backyard. Now, when the mayor asked me to speak today, I was honored and I've been humbled to be able to tell your stories for the past several years here in Southern Arizona. As a mom of two, soon to be, and a wife to a first responder, I know how vital it is to have a community that continues to grow and thrive. In the media, our job and my job that I take pride in is giving each and every family the best tools to have their best life. That comes with transparency, evolving, and elevating the way we tell the community stories. At the end of every one of my 4 o'clock newscasts, I say,
Everyone has a story to tell. Thank you for letting us tell them.
Today, it's been my privilege to share a little bit of my story and our story at KGUN 9, and I hope to continue to be able to spotlight Marana and all of the great things this town has in store. Thank you again for allowing me to talk with all of you today. Please feel free to connect with me on social media or say hello in person if you see me out and about. Now, Marana residents have a bright future ahead, and I look forward to what this next year has in store for the town of Marana and all of Southern Arizona.
Our last speaker today is Vic Hathaway. Vic has worked for the town of Marana for just over a decade as the communications manager. She leads a dynamic team for government public relations and brand management, including PR, digital, and print media, website management, content creation, and more. She is married. Her husband is Eric. They have 2 daughters, they have a dog, and they have a little hamster named Oreo. Here's Vic.
Thank you, Mayor Honey, for inviting me on stage today to speak about Marana and the media. Also, thank you to Amanda Wiggins and the Chamber of Commerce for putting on such a delightful event. It is always a joy to partner with you and make great things happen. My name is Vic Hathaway, and I have the privilege of managing communications for the Town of Marana. First, I have to recognize the amazing programs, policies, and services provided by our departments under the inspirational leadership of council, town management, and directors. It's an honor to serve you and share your hard work with the community. Secondly, I would like to recognize my team. Will Ramon Armenta, Amanda Gomez, Zachary King, and Hannah Schilling please stand? They are the creative minds behind today's event branding and the opening video, plus all the marketing and PR put out by the town. I am very lucky to work with them, so please join me in recognizing their amazing contributions. Thank you. Our theme today is Marana and the Media, Voices to Vision. Effective public service is, in many ways, a two-way conversation. My role is to assist our departments in widening that conversation to as many voices as possible so that you feel heard. We do this by diversifying our outreach methods. We do this by pursuing strategic partnerships. And we do this by supporting a creative environment where no ideas are bad ideas, they're just the beginning. And many times, those ideas turn into something really great. The world is rapidly changing, which means we too must evolve. This year, we took the conversation to new heights with the Real Talk with the Town podcast. What better way to show transparency and accountability to our residents than to answer their questions in the most candid way possible by the coolest sounding town manager in the Southwest.
Welcome to Real Talk with the Town, where I sit down with the Marana staff to answer your burning questions about our beautiful community. My name is Terry Rosema, and I'm the town manager for the town, so let's get started.
So since starting the podcast in mid-December, we've received 5-star reviews, including one who said, Real Talk with the Town is a must-listen for all residents of Marana, and another one who said, Terry is a great host. Looking forward to more topics about our town. So let's give a big round of applause for Marana Town Manager Terry Rosema. As I mentioned earlier, public service is a conversation, and that conversation isn't complete without our media partners. Dan and Danelle are frequent flyers when it comes to Marana coverage, of which we are so thankful. And I extend that gratitude to the many news outlets located in our region, including television, print, and radio. To strengthen our partnership and demonstrate the town's dedication to 5-star service, we've created a training program so key staff members across all departments are well equipped to work with the media. Not only does this increase our transparency and accountability, it guarantees quick response times during emergencies. Now, when I say that our theme today is Marana and the Media, Voices to Vision, I've talked a lot about voices, but you may be wondering where the vision comes in. So this is where I extend an invitation to you. I invite you to visit our website and subscribe to our Marana newsroom so you can stay up to date on the major projects and services on a daily basis. I invite you to fill out our surveys and attend our public meetings and contribute your voice to our planning process. I invite you to follow us on social media, and I invite you to contact us with your questions, concerns, and comments, because this is where the transformation happens. Your voices turn into focus areas, goals, strategies, and action items, which then in turn become a recreation center, soccer fields, a police facility, paved roads, and much more. Through your proactive engagement, your voice will become part of our collective vision. Thank you to our media partners for making the conversation as big as possible, and thank you again, Mayor Honey, for having me on stage today.
Everybody's taller than me. So each year, the Town of Marana honors members of the public for their service. I would like to invite the mayor to come on down, or up. He's already coming. He knew. He is going to present the awards, and there are 3 of them this year. The first is our Youth Legacy Award. So let's welcome Katie Stoop to the stage. Katie? Come on up. This year's Youth Legacy Award goes to Katie for making a significant impact through the power of coaching. This award recognizes individuals that promote a healthy and supportive environment for youth and create educational opportunities to enrich young minds. As a swim coach for the Marana Marlins, Katie has done that by serving as a role model for kids of all ages and teaching them discipline and the importance of swim. The Marana Marlins team says that Katie goes above and beyond in everything she does. She's always volunteering to be part of activities and is always willing and ready to help in every capacity. Congratulations to Katie. Thank you. Nice to meet you. Now you're gonna go down.
She's bashful. She didn't want to speak, but she does a lot of good things for our community.
All right, our Branding Iron Award. This is one of two. Please welcome Dawn and Georgia Junkin. They are right here next to the stage. Now, they moved to Marana in 2007, so they're recent Maranans, right? Dawn and Georgia have left their mark on the community since they got here, and what a mark it has been. Their volunteer work extends from their own neighborhood HOA to the Marana Food Bank and the Town of Marana. Dawn served on the Marana Volunteer Police Academy, the Marana Citizens Forum, and the Marana Planning Commission, the latter of which he just retired from after 10 years. Now, Georgia's always right there. She's always at Downside. She calls herself his little mouse in his pocket, helping in the background and in some cases taking the lead on projects. Dawn and Georgia have made an impact on their community and the people around them simply by being themselves. Please join me in congratulating Dawn and Georgia. I'll wait for you. Just come on. Hurry, hurry. Why don't you show people why this is called a Branding Iron Award? Look at this thing. It's an actual branding iron. It's really cool.
This is a registered branding iron to the town of Marana. It's real. You got a fire, I'll brand you.
Well, I don't think we want this to happen. Anyway, the next Branding Iron Award goes to Dot Sandy. Please come up on the stage. Dot Sandy. Now, Dot attended a Marana High School choir concert in 2019, and she learned that one of the students was experiencing homelessness. She knew she had to do something to help them and any other student in similar situations. So she scheduled a meeting with the Director of Student and Family Support Services to discuss the needs of students and their families in the Marana community. And the rest, shall we say, is history. After her first benefit concert raised over $2,000, Dot went on to create the Youth Education Supports Program. It's called YES, the YES Group, to increase awareness of student needs. Since their first fundraiser, Dot has helped raise over $300,000, and now she has a branding iron of her own. What an impact. Thanks and congratulations to you, Dot. Thank you. All right. Good job, Mayor. You just hang out there for a minute. Just hang out there. Thank you for helping me honor these award recipients and the mayor. Now I would like to introduce the President, CEO of the Marana Chamber of Commerce, Amanda Wiggins. It's all yours, lady. Take it away.
Thank you. We got ahead of time.
Now I'm going to go eat.
First and foremost, I would like to thank each of you for attending today's event. All of our sponsors, our board of directors, ambassadors, and our chamber staff, Rebecca, Tammy, and Sally. Woo! Big round of applause. I'd also like to thank the Town of Marana Communications team, truly the best of the best, as is expected with a 5-star local government. Where you at, Terry? And our volunteers consisting of board members, ambassadors, and Town of Marana staff. These are the people who make our biggest event of the year possible. Thank you. The Marana Chamber of Commerce has worked intentionally to honor the history of our chamber and community while adapting to the growth and needs of our community. That is why I'm honored to share and invite you to be a part of a new program of the Marana Chamber of Commerce. Please direct your attention to the screens.
Impact Marana. This is an immersive experience, taking a dedicated cohort of business and community leaders through an in-depth, behind-the-scenes look at the many dynamic sectors of the Marana community. You're invited to be a part of Impact Marana, to become a more connected, informed, and collaborative business and community leader.
A thriving community like the town of Marana needs public and private sector working together.
A strong community understands and supports local businesses.
A healthy community has access to exceptional whole-person healthcare.
A forward-thinking community builds and invests in its workforce by ensuring that its children have access to the best education and learning environments available for them to succeed.
A flourishing community is built through a variety of businesses that encourage us to lead healthy lives.
A safe and protected community is built through trust, transparency, and a supported public safety sector.
You should be a part of Impact Marana.
You should go through Impact Marana to better understand how businesses in our community operate.
Being part of this program will allow you to understand and be an impact in the future of healthcare.
This is your opportunity to learn and to lead the future of Marana.
While building community leadership skills, the Impact Marana participants will receive information and experiences through once-a-month program days focusing on various sectors of our community, including government, public safety, education, human services, business and economic development, environmental resources, sustainability, arts, history and culture, and so much more. This 8-month program is designed for participants to gain a comprehensive understanding of all facets of Marana, to be a more impactful business and community leader, driving the future of our community.
The Marana Chamber of Marana Chamber of Commerce and our community partners are proud to launch this new program, allowing our community and business leaders to take their businesses, organizations, and our community to the next level through a unique program filled with valuable information and behind-the-scenes experiences. If you'd like to be the first to know more information and when the application process opens for Impact Marana, please submit your contact information through the Impact Marana interest forms, through the cards on your tables, or on the way out of today's event through the large poster. You are invited to be a part of Impact Marana. And now it is my pleasure to welcome back Mayor Ed Honey to the microphone. And we're running ahead of schedule, so you got time.
Okay. You guys are in trouble because Amanda says we're running ahead of schedule, so I have more time. As many of you know, I have vision problems, so I don't read the teleprompter. I do everything from here. It might be a mishmash, but I want to thank a couple people. We were trying to get here early to practice on what we were doing, and there was an accident on I-10. First time ever. Happens basically every day. So I called Terry Rosema and I said, hey, we're stuck on I-10 and I might not be able to get there. You're going to have to do my speech. He says, we'll get a police officer there and we'll get you out. And to make a long story short, my driver, Tom Snee, Colonel Snee retired, our Planning Commission chairman, and I were stuck out there. Lieutenant Castillo calls me. He says, if you can get up close to the intersection, I'll run interference. And he did. When we got up by the intersection, he stopped all the cars and let us through. I thought I was the president. Yeah. But that's kind of what we are here as a big family. I think Dan Marries had talked about that. You know, it's not worrying about who gets the credit. And I'm going to use a format today on what I'm going to talk about a little bit. And I ran it by Jan Lesher, and she said it was a good format. So if you don't like it, see her. She's right here in the front. So I'm going to talk a little bit about nuts and bolts in Marana. First, I'm going to talk about commercial properties and industrial properties in North Marana. How many of you have driven by those two little huts up there in North Marana by the freeway? Wow. The big building in the front's $500,000. The one next to it is $400,000. They're going to build 3 more, 300 and a couple 200. It's about $1.6 million. That's Flint Corporation. What they do is they come in and build those properties. They don't even have leaseholders yet, because you might have one big manufacturer that uses the whole 500,000 square foot building, or you might have 5 or 6 that want to split the building up. But that's not the only thing there. You've got CTI right across the street. They're building a new facility in North Marana, 53,000 square feet and 140 employees. And they're really moving along there, so we're really thrilled to have them there. If you move right down the road, you hit Roush, formerly Ventana Medical, has 2 60,000 square foot facilities, and they have 200 employees. And everybody's probably heard about Amazon is going to come in there and build a 1.4 million square foot building. Well, Amazon is regrouping right now across the entire world. But they sold that land to Shamrock Foods, and they're going to build a distribution center there. Everybody says, where are they going to put the cows? There's no cows. It's just ice cream and milk and that kind of stuff. In that facility, we're going to end up with about 2.5 million square feet of commercial property up there. It's a big deal. And that's not counting the 250,000 square feet on Ina Road, the Amazon facility that we all had a meeting with about 3 or 4 months ago, a Zoom meeting. And they had told us there will be a couple hundred employees in there, but it may take a year for them to get in. So it's coming. But that's not really kind of what we were talking about today. So I thought, well, maybe I'll talk about apartments. And we have 7 apartment complexes coming into Marana. They're all over the place. You got the Alexander Apartments on Erie Drive, up kind of the Ina Thornydale area behind Target. Then you've got the Avilas de Marana Apartments right down the road on that same street. You got HSL Properties over in the Marana Center, and I was going to say 320 properties, but I talked to Omar before I came up here, and he said, no, it's 375. So we're building apartments on Ina, we're building apartments on Cortero, we're building apartments on Silverbell. We're going to end up with about 1,700 separate apartments. Now, is that all going to happen this year? No. But over the next year or 2, all of those are going to be built. Some of them are about ready to open, and some are just breaking ground. But that really wasn't what I was going to talk about either. I was going to talk about single-family housing has really slowed down. That's developers selling houses to individuals. But we had a backup plan. Rental housing. We have 3 huge projects in Marana. We have the one out on Barnett and Sanders, about 400 homes. We have the one at Linda Vista across from the Marana Center Mall, and you can see them framing up the homes there now. And we have one on Tangerine Road out by the newest Northwest Fire Station. And there's going to be 700 or 800 of them. So we're going to have 2,500 rental properties within the next couple of years. And you say, well, who's going to rent them? You know what, people? If the people that are building those properties, they do due diligence, because they're literally spending hundreds of millions of dollars on those properties, and the people are coming. I will tell you a little bit. I was talking to a couple of our economic development people at a meeting in Casa Grande on Tuesday. Andrea Caselo and I went up there. We talked to the mayor of Casa Grande, Superior, and Maricopa. And I was asking Mayor McFarland from Casa Grande if he wanted to join our economic development team, and he said, well, why? I said, Lucid Motors on the south side of Casa Grande. Now, they're downsizing as well. They're readjusting and everything. They're going from 3,000 to 2,000. But I think about half of those 2,000 live in North Marana. You walk around in a grocery store or a restaurant, you will see a Lucid shirt. So then I thought, well, maybe I'll make John Thompson, the mayor of Coolidge, one of our parts of our economic development team as well, because you have the Nokia truck factory in Coolidge, and I think they have about 800 employees on the 87, close to the freeway, but they don't have a lot of housing. So those people come down here and buy houses in North Marana. And then you've got, I want to say Colgate-Palmolive, but it's the other major. Anyway, they're building a place in Coolidge, and they're hiring 500 employees. And the people that are representing them, the front people, want to talk to me because there's not a lot of housing there for those people. So if you wonder where they're coming from, folks, they're not all coming from California. A lot of those people are working here. Then I thought, well, maybe I would talk about our new Kroger Barclay Center on Tangerine and Lon Adams in North Marana. I have to tell you a story. You know, Marana works very quickly with businesses to get them on the ground and get them open. I mean, it was only 2007 when they made the original application. We're fast. But I can tell you, they wanted to take that property. We were talking to Kroger and Fry's, and they wanted to take that property and build houses. We said, no. You promised the people in Gladden Farms in North Marana you'd build a store, so you can just keep it till you can. Well, to make a long story short, they're going to break ground July 1st. They're going to build a Super Fry's. And it's not just going to be the Fry's. They're going to build 4 or 5 buildings around it. You're going to have barbershops, beauty shops, workout centers, restaurants, hopefully some day and night type restaurants, which everybody's on me to get. They're going to have a gas station there. Gas may be $6 a gallon next year when they get this stuff done, but I mean, they're going to have a gas station. So we're thrilled to get that super center. And even though it did take us 16 years, not necessarily our fault, there was a big recession in the middle of that. We are going to get it. And we are keeping our promise to the people of the town of Marana. Another thing I thought, well, maybe I'd talk about a little bit is our community center / recreation center / aquatic center in far north Marana by the town hall. We did something very inventive. We did a half-cent sales tax directly at that project. And it could be a $50 million project, but we have a funding source so that we don't take away from any other services that the town provides. And it's a big center. It's going to have 3 full-size basketball courts in the main room. 3. That's pretty big. It's going to have Wi-Fi for everybody. It's going to have big rooms in the front that you don't have to be a member to go into the facility with desk and drinking fountains and restrooms, because we have 2 schools, Marana Middle and Estes, where children can walk over after school if they need to wait on their parents, and they have a safe place to go to where they can stay. And we're going to have a walking track on the top of it. And I think it's like 7 times around is a mile. A lot of seniors in our community like to walk, but they like to walk where it's secure. So they'll come to this facility, walk around the track, and have a lot of fun. I have to tell you a story. We were in Goodyear looking at their center, which we kind of copied but made bigger and better. But, and there was a young lady about my age walking around the track. And we're up there looking at the track. I tell you folks, if I had not gotten out of the way, somebody else would be talking to you today, because that lady was going to run me over. And that's a true story too. You know, it's going to offer meeting rooms. It's going to offer, even if for some reason we've had one incident where Ritz couldn't give us the room when we needed it, we could have this event in it. Not that we're planning on having it, but we could. We're going to have a facility that large. Then out in back of the facility of the building is the aquatic center. It's going to have 2 Olympic-sized pools. One of them is going to have lanes where people can compete. One of the biggest needs in our community is we don't have swimming facilities. Marana High School has a pool, the Marana Park has a pool, but they're not adequate for competition. These 2 pools will be set up to where the high schools or the middle schools or club teams can come into our community and have a swim meet in a safe place. So we're really thrilled about that. It's also going to have a splash pad. And our splash pad at Heritage just won a big award here just a couple weeks ago. This will be our 3rd one. And we're really thrilled about that because we want to provide facilities to where our people can come to the community. But really what we want to talk about today is transparency and openness to the media and openness to the public. So I'm going to talk briefly about that. That really is what I was supposed to talk about. And you saw Mr. Rosema doing his interviews. And he works with Vic Hathaway, and they interview people on our staff. I've listened to a couple of them that Fausto Burrell has done, one on the Cortero interchange. I listened to one that was John Kamik, who is lives in Marana, but is the City of Tucson's water director, and Dr. Jing Liu, our utility director, talking about water. Guess what? We're not running out of water. And so I encourage you to listen to those. I mean, Terry got so desperate one day he asked me to be the interview person. And we talked a little about Marana history. But also, I've been doing podcasts. And I've been doing it with LTD Media, which is Clinton, Tammy Peak, and David Samarano, and they're all here. And what we do is we do podcasts about Marana. This is, I've done one on collaboration with other communities. I've done one on parks. I've done one on roads. I've done one on our new community center. And I've done one on water. We are not running out of water. We make that point clear. You know, water credits might be an issue, but the actual product we're not running out of. You know, I could talk about our 3 new auto dealerships. The truck modification plan is open there on Ina. The new auto complex opened at the Marana Center Mall. I think 2 days ago they already sold a couple cars. And we're getting a new Mazda complex on Cortero. And I'm really thrilled about this stuff. And, you know, the one thing I want to say about Marana is we're very transparent. If you want me to come and speak, or any of our council members, or Terry, or any of his staff, just give us a call. I'm actually speaking at the Dove Mountain Civic Center next Thursday in front of a group of people there. I hope they're going to be friendly. Jackie, Craig, are they going to be friendly? But Jackie's the chairman there, and she invited me. But we're always willing to come out and talk to you. Our life is an open book. You may not like the book, but it's open. And you can see anything you need to see. And I want to thank a few people before I end today. And see, I can talk a little longer because they said we were running ahead of time, or behind schedule. I talked to Juan Siscomani for about 20 minutes, 30 minutes earlier this morning. And he was calling to apologize for not being here. And I've known Juan for 15 years. Great guy. He says, Mayor, I'll be there next year. We got our wires crossed, or I'd be here this year. And I said, well, Juan, we have a federal problem with an issue that we're dealing with. I'm not going to go into the issue. He said, I'm on it. CJ Karstenian will call your staff. So the call's coming, guys. And he said, I will help you anything I could do on that federal issue. So I'm really thrilled about that. 3 other individuals that I invited that can't be here today are Justine Wadzak, Rachel Jones, and Corey McGarr. That's our senator and our 2 House representatives from District 17 that Marana is in. There's so many things going on at the floor of the House and the Senate that they couldn't get in here today, but I want to brag about those people a little bit. Justine Wadzak was up there about a week, and we were telling her we were trying to get water credits. We don't need the product, we need the credits. She had us a meeting with the director of the Department of Arizona Water Resources in a week. You know, I don't know if we accomplished anything, but she was working for us. Another issue that we were looking at is we were trying to get some money for Cortero Road for design of that roadway for RTA Next. And I can take Rachel Jones and Corey McGarr attached onto a bill in the House, it's the Dunn bill, which passed the House and is now in the Senate, to get us $10 million for that project. So even though they're not here, they're working for us. And I really appreciate that. I want to recognize our town council. You know what? This is not a one-person job. And all 6 of these people I consider dear friends. And they love this community and they work for this community. And as I call your name, would you please stand? Vice Mayor John Post. Councilmember Patty Comerford. Councilmember Jackie Craig. Councilmember Herb Kai. Councilmember Roxanne Ziegler. And Councilmember John Officer. Folks, these people work really hard for you. And it's not going to a council meeting every week on Tuesday for an hour or 2. They'll spend 20 hours behind the scenes working on things to make this a better place to live. I also want to thank our management staff, Town Manager Terry Rosema and Deputy Manager Eric Montague. And thank you for your work. And you know what, people, we're really blessed. You know, one part of housing slowed down, the other part of housing picked up. You know, housing slowed down, commercial has picked up. One of our problems is businesses are coming to Marana so fast it's hard for us to keep up with them. But we are really a thriving community. We are truly blessed and we're doing really well. I'm very thankful for all of you coming today. And I'd like to end like I always do, which is God bless the town of Marana and God bless you, each and every one. Thank you for coming.